Rocker Pat here. Hi guys, it's another hot rocking day in the jungle. It's another beautiful Texas day, and it is time to get back on to our Cadillac LS swap. Took a little break from that job to take care of Leroy. We'll be going over this bad boy. Shop is thick right now. We got them stacking them deep, and we ain't selling anything cheap around here. So what we're working on today is that one of my issues I had to overcome on this Cadillac is that it has a mechanical speedometer. The transmission has no I don't know what's the right word, setup for a mechanical speedometer. So how do you make the speedometer work in a classic car? Now, if you were dealing with a car like Leroy right there, Leroy's got a round speedometer. The whole head is round, the whole unit's round, and all that kind of stuff. There's all sorts of GPS speedometers that could be put into this car, and it would work. The problem with the Cadillac is it's got a rectangle speedometer, and the needle sits here in the middle, and it kind of makes its little sweep all the way across, all the way over to here. And I don't know of any kind of actual full speedometer I could change, or what can I do there? Let me let P-Dog out of here. P-Doggy wants out. Come on, P-Doggy. P-Doggy hurt his foot last week, so he's limping a little bit. He went chasing after a rabbit, and he jumped the ditch, and well, in about 3 days, it's going to be 10 years he's been hanging out with me. Maybe that 10-year-old leg is getting a little tired. Everybody say hello to P-Doggy. P-Doggy says hello to everybody. All right, back to the what we're doing here. So that speedometer, okay, so it wants to go across like this, so I really need something that's going to drive it with a cable. There is some cable-driven setups that use little motors to drive the cable and I guess approximate whatever is going on off the speed sensor. Well, what I found that is actually, I think, better, because I always try to stick away from little motors that end up going out in the future, and then you don't know how to get parts for it and this, that, and the other. You're right back to square one. Well, what I did find was on eBay, there is a guy. Let me give you this guy right here, right now, in case you don't want to watch any more of me rambling on about rambling on. This guy, focus, cable speedometer at yahoo.com, or call Dan at 360-910-6942. That's 360-910-6942, and it's cable speedometer at yahoo.com, and go talk to Dan. I actually ordered this all off of eBay. He's gonna need, whoop, camera focus, thank you. He's gonna need the gear ratio in the rear end, and he's gonna need your tire size before he can sell it to you. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, it was not cheap. This whole setup was about $500, but it's gonna solve this problem that we got about being able to make a cable run off of this. So here, let me show you what came in the package. First thing I got in the package is there's a new gear right there. There's also a collar that's right here. We'll go over that in just a second, what that's doing. I got a brand new tail housing. Has the factory hole for the factory speed sensor, because you're going to need that with the LS. But if we flip it over, it's been modified to take a speedometer bullet so that a regular mechanical speedometer, it'll work forever. It'll never have a problem by doing it this way. Yes, it's a little pricey, but I'm going to spend $200 to $300, and I'll probably have to charge my customer $400 to $500 to put an electrical unit in this thing. And I can do the same thing here with a mechanical unit and zero problems out of it, other than every now and again you got to replace the speedometer cable. Okay, so let me show you how this comes apart and goes back together. He was very nice to include a nice instruction set with this. Let's go over it. the first thing you're going to want to do is we need to remove the reluctor ring. Measure the distance between here and the reluctor ring so that you're going to put it back in the same spot. It's not that total imperative. And let me show you another thing. I pulled mine off, and if we look carefully, focus right there, you can see a witness mark where this reluctor ring used to sit right there. So I've got about the distance of this to cover to put it back where it was at. Okay, so you're going to use your puller like so to get the ring off. Okay, once you get the ring off, what we're going to want to do is we're going to put a setup like this. Okay, first thing that's going to happen is that we're going to put the gear on, and you see this little keyway right here? That little keyway has a step to it. You see the little step? Now I clearanced a little bit to make it easier for me to slide this in, okay? That little clearance right there is actually for this little ramp right here, okay, in which I have this collar crushed up against right now. The reason why that collar is sitting the way it's sitting right now is because this is the apparatus I need to push this reluctor ring back onto the shaft without hammering that shaft into the back of the transmission. And he clearly warns, do not hammer or you will destroy. Okay, so after we put this on, move this over to this side, right on that little ramp that I showed you. Okay, and you can see right here how he's got that. And then that allows you to use this tip right here on this pipe. We're not pushing on the transmission shaft at this point. All the force is right here on this part, and this point is pushing on this pipe, pushing this reluctor back onto the shaft. Okay, so that's how you get it back out on the shaft. And then when you're done getting it back on the shaft, you'll have it assembled just like this. This thing right here is pinching this into place. This is just holding that to keep it from spinning. Pressure between here and here is holding it to keep it from rocking. It's probably about half of this is actually on this part of the shaft, and the other half is kind of hanging over this direction. All right, guys, well, that's what I got for you right today here on how to make your LS swap actually use your cable-driven speedometer so that you can, focus, boy. This phone does not focus very well. I'm not in love with it. All right, so anyway, like I said, this way, you know now how to make a cable-driven speedometer that you might not be able to use a electronic driver on, or might not want to use an electronic driver on, and we have a way to actually make the cable work. Because like I said, that right there has a big, long rectangle speedometer, and it's just gonna take something different. All right, guys, well, y'all keep rocking and rolling and rolling and rocking. I got some more pushing back onto here. I'm gonna push this on right here while y'all watch. And just like that, it's back in place. All right, guys, y'all rock on, rock on, rock on. And I'm gonna get my LS on. Talk to y'all next time. Speedos in the world. I mean, those stinking speedometer.